All
All
right.
right.
We are live. Okay. Well, as you can see, people, we're just a little bit late, and that's what happens when you get new toys. At least on my end, um, it gets a little technical sometimes, but better late than never, as they say, right?
Right. Right.
So, well, once again, man, it's I guess for the folks who uh, are arriving, welcome to a show with no name, not to be confused with a horse with no name.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Yeah. So, what's been going on in your end of the world?
Oh, not a lot, not a lot. Um, I will tell you this though. I woke up to some interesting news this morning, and let's see. I did have a screenshot, and I have to be honest. This was a little unexpected. Um,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
I'll pass it to you.
Well, I just saw something. I think it was Ellie Leonard posted he's already out of jail, and they didn't even bring him up on like the like child molestation charges, right? Some sort of other corruption or did
No,
some.
this was him. Apparently, he forwarded some like secret government information from something he had access to,
Right.
and he forwarded by email. So apparently it was like
Genius.
an email in the Epstein files. And I don't, these are, I've heard of the gang who can't shoot straight, but I'm honestly, I don't know.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
not know.
All I mean, when somebody like that can be arrested, though, you know what I mean? Like, why? I don't know, man. I see like the Korean president, former president that tried to lead the coup, is in jail for life. You see Bolsonaro in jail for trying
Hmm.
to lead a coup for 27. He's got 27-year sentence. Meanwhile, we're over here reelecting
Dude,
our coup plotting.
it's
I
just
mean,
honestly, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, you
right?
think about it like this. Okay, I mean, you've basically had nearly like a collapse of a political party in the UK, where you got ambassadors getting fired and guys leaving their party. I saw um, a couple of days ago in Canada, maybe this was yesterday, that some guy in the conservative wing just said, "Screw it, I'm gonna I'm gonna be a liberal," and he just changes parties and all this stuff. And like I said the other day, even in like Lithuania, little Lithuania
Yeah,
has got more respect for like law and order than America. Go figure.
yeah. Hey, real quick, are we streaming on Substack? Because I'm not
You
seeing.
know, I don't I think we're having an issue. I tell you what, why don't you just take the conversation wherever you'd like to go? I'll chip in, and I will um, go over to Substack and see if I can figure out what's going on there while you're talking.
Yeah. So yeah, one of the topics. I don't know. I've been getting a lot of doing a lot of live streams and talking to a lot of people, mainly around like Cuba policy and stuff. Um, and this whole oil blockade and all the suffering it's causing on the island and stuff. And it's hard to deal with when you have family and friends there,
Absolutely.
colleagues.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like a constant stress. It's been like I don't know. Everything I try to do work wise is hard to do because that's all I can focus on. I'm like wanting to get up to the minute updates about everything that's happening. And there's just so many things happening at once, like I don't know if we talked about this last week. Maybe not. No, because this happened on Saturday. But there's some
Okay.
independent journalists in Cuba who uh who've been following around Mike Hammer. Mike Hammer is the charge d'affaires for the United States to Cuba because we don't have an ambassador.
Okay,
right
so
now.
what's the difference? I know about this guy just because of that title.
Yeah,
That's one I'm not really familiar with.
he's basically, I call him, wannabe ambassador
Huh,
because he fills the space of an ambassador when there isn't
right.
one, but he doesn't really have any kind of like negotiating power. He can make Cubans promises all he wants, but he can't really fulfill them. He doesn't have any kind of power in that sense. So anyway, he's, at the embassy. He's been traveling around the island, and a lot of people have been protesting him. And, for obvious reasons, of course, Cubans are going to be upset at the situation. And, they keep trying to portray all these Cubans that are protesting him as like government operatives, right? Because there's no possible way Cubans would be mad at the U.S. right now.
Of
And
course.
so they're driving around the island in their little entourage of vehicles. They drive these giant GMC Yukons. They're like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
And, with the fuel shortages, they're like rationing fuel and stuff on the island. These guys cut in line, fill up their stuff, and then take off, and people are getting sick of that. So some of these independent journalists, most of them are like, young people in their mid-20s. They're, kind of half independent journalists, half little influencer type thing on social media. They start following these guys around, and they're kind of taking a page out of our book where they see people here in the US following ICE agents around. And
Do they have whistles?
no, they don't have the whistles, but they're following these guys around and like, showing people how they're cutting in line, driving like assholes, all this stuff.
Right.
And of course the US is like, look at this harassment campaign
Oh
against Mike
Lord.
Hammer, right? So
I know.
the US sanctioned these kids. Like, and the US can't do anything really. They put them on a list where they're banned from getting a visa to come to the US.
Like
And I
they're
talked
really
to
trying to do that, I guess.
Right. I
Huh?
talked to one of them. He's like, "What the hell do I give a damn? I'm not coming to the U.S." And but I just think it's kind of like it's that duplicity, right? Where we're like, the Cuban government is repressive. They don't allow,
Oh, I
independent
know.
journalists. And then
Yeah,
here we are.
yeah, it's too much. It really is.
Yeah.
So so I mean, there is so much crazy stuff going on. I saw this, and it is next to impossible now to uh, get away from the Epstein thing. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
it's
It
just
really
there's
is.
just no way. And so I I don't even know what to make of this. I mean, look at this. So that guy
Oh,
right
yeah.
there, that is the labor secretary's husband who has been banned from basically going to visit her at her job. they they have they have basically said
Wow.
that this guy can't come in the building anymore. Now, I just want you to think about in this administration, what kind of behavior does it take for the husband of the labor secretary to be told, sir,
It,
uh-uh.
it's gotta be pretty bad, right? Gotta be
Well,
pretty bad. You would
um,
think.
here we go. I mean, for the people who are listening, I'll just read. The husband of Labor Secretary Lori Chavez DeRimmer has been barred from the department's headquarters after at least 2 female staff members told officials that he had sexually assaulted them. I have to just stop right there and
Wow.
say Republicans definitely have a type. I mean, these are some dudes that just cannot keep their hands to themselves, and
And
nobody.
he did
He
it at
did
her
this
job.
at her job. Just
What the
down another paragraph. Okay. The woman,
Oh my
I'm sorry,
god.
the women, plural, said Ms. Chavez DeRimmer's husband, Dr. Sean DeRimmer, had touched them inappropriately at the Labor Department's building on Constitutional Avenue. One of the
Jesus.
incidents, it gets worse. One of the incidents during work hours on the morning of December 8th was recorded on office security cameras. The video showed Dr. DeRimmer giving one of the women an extended embrace and was
Wow.
reviewed as part of a criminal investigation. So there we are.
Wow. So
This
she's
is
aware her
America.
husband did it, right? She was aware.
If she wasn't, she is now.
Well, I mean, she gave that lady an extended hug. That means,
dude, an extended hug is like probably putting it nicely.
yeah,
Yeah, that's America.
dude. Like, how do you go to your wife's job and do that of all places?
I don't have anything for you, man.
Yeah.
I
don't mean to laugh, right? Because
it's not funny.
Did.
It's
right.
I mean, this is not laughing, ha ha. This is laughing, oh, what the fuck? Ha. I mean,
like ridiculous.
What are these people doing? I mean, honest to goodness, man.
It just blows me away, man. Like
I'm just thinking to myself, okay, let me go see Shannon at work. And there's like I don't know, 2 or 3 women. And my move is think about like the mindset of a guy.
Right.
Your wife is a cabinet member in the she's a cabinet member. It just doesn't get much better than that unless you're like president or Speaker of the House or she's a cabinet member. And you go to her job and what? Feel up one of her employees. What in the hell are you doing? That guy needs to be arrested. They need to arrest him.
For sure. I mean, they said it was part of a criminal investigation. So I mean,
and honestly, I'm interested to see what she has to say about it because it's on film, dude.
Yeah,
it's on film.
I mean, I'd probably have a knife in me somewhere if that was my wife. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what, man? All right. See, I'm going to tell you, this is probably because you're younger than me. This is before your time, but I know there's some people in the audience that will, this is kind of, if you know, you know. I would have some hot grits thrown on my ass.
Oh.
That's what dude, that's what happened to Al Green. Who's now, I think, I always said, because, Al Green was like a heartthrob back in the 70s.
Yeah.
He was like, dude, I was singing, like I was getting in little talent shows, singing Love and Happiness and shit.
Really?
Trying to be, dude, I was taking advantage, man. I could sing a little bit and I was going for it. And I'm here to tell you, that woman, I think, is responsible for sending him into he's a minister now.
Yeah.
And has been pretty much ever since. So yeah, man, I that's kind of where I think I would be in that category if I did something that just the disrespect.
Man, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Your wife is sitting there, doing whatever the Secretary of Labor does. Okay. And meanwhile, this dog is down the hall feeling up a staffer. I mean, how does that even compute?
Dude, that's ballsy. It's really, really ballsy.
It's beyond. I think it's an indication that this guy has some sort of a problem, because that's just like, in the decision-making category, that's just, come on, dude. I never have been able to understand any of these weird proclivities that these people have.
I don't either.
The whole thing with it. Okay. If I'm a single, forget billionaire, if I'm a single millionaire, I am not trolling junior high schools looking for dates.
No,
dude, I'm going to Hollywood or somewhere, or the WNBA. I don't know, but not Jeffrey Epstein's freaking island. That is not it. I would never have even thought of that. Right.
So I'd went to Vegas before that. Like,
dude, I'm trying to tell you, man. I mean, why on earth would you do something like that? And well, look, not to make light of it, I think what happens with people that have all this wealth and power, and all of them, you got these these different academics at MIT and Harvard, Larry
Yeah.
Summers and all. And it's a power thing, dude.
Yeah.
And I think it's also an indication of how weak some of these guys are, that they can't handle the challenge of a woman that's like on their level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or even, just an adult. Right.
Right. Right.
And that's the part that's just really despicable. And you think about, I mean,
Yeah.
I have a daughter, and now I'm one of four boys. So I grew up really not around a whole lot of women, girls and stuff like that. But, obviously I would say that we were raised right. There's just some shit you don't do. But now having a daughter and just seeing the stuff that, just generally that women go through. I've been married 30 years. So you just, with self-esteem and all this stuff. And it's so fucking dastardly.
Yeah.
That you get these grown ass men taking children out on an island, man. That's just, if you don't go to hell for shit like that, dude, I just don't know. I don't know.
Right. Right. And no, I mean, what you said about them, the challenge of a grown woman.
Yeah.
That's
look
that's
at what you got now.
Right. That's deeper than most people think. You know what I mean? That's a pretty deep thought, because that's what it boils down to.
Look at what you got now, man. You got all these fucking incels running around mad because some girl laughed at them in junior high school and they never got over it. What the hell? Right. I mean, that's just, I don't know. I heard something yesterday though that's an interesting sort of corollary or whatever. But it still doesn't explain these Epstein guys. But just because now we have all this technology where you can just be by yourself and just scroll all day long.
Yeah.
That it's to the point where like Gen Z, they just don't know how to communicate. And this is general, of course.
Yeah.
But they don't communicate in the way that we would consider normal. They're not used to, everything's a text. They're not used to actually talking directly to a person.
Right.
Or they need an app to figure out who to go date. When I was a kid, dude, that's the only thing that got me in church. I have to be honest. That's where the girls were, right?
Yeah.
They're at church.
I think, a lot of this stuff with these incels, like they're in this kind of, they put themselves in this catch-22. So let's say it starts with some girl that kind of dissed them at school. And then now they're hating on women nonstop, disrespecting women nonstop. Well, guess what, dude?
Well, yeah. And now
you're never going to get in with a woman like that.
What's like never going to get it, never going to get it.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. I don't know the women who respond well to, like vitriol and criticism all the time. I just haven't met that. I don't know anybody like that.
Right. And it's like, is it that hard to just show some damn respect? Like
evidently it is.
Yeah. You get what you give in this world, right? Like you disrespect people, they're going to disrespect you back.
Man, I tell you, it's something, sign of the times, as they say. But, and I think COVID, let's just face it, that really, for, that generation that was still in high school, middle school, that now, like my youngest son was in middle school during COVID. Now he's almost a junior in college. I can see it. I can pick up the phone at any time of the day and call him, and he's in his room studying, which is great.
Right.
But I mean, I would like I don't want to be like me, because he's going to flunk. He'll flunk out.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be like me, but I'm just saying he's been at, university now almost 2 full years. Never been to a football game. Never been to a basketball game. Now, it's not cheap to go. Like
Right.
when I was in college, they practically, it's $5 or $3 for a ticket, but not anymore. But still, and it as a parent, it's kind of it's kind of I don't know. It's two sides to it. One side of it is great.
You know your
I'm
kid's
glad,
safe. Right.
great. I'm so glad he's in his room studying. I'm so glad he's not getting in any kind of trouble. I know that I'm not gonna see a pop up on my phone and it's my kid that did something. But
Right.
at the same time, there's something to be gained from that adventure part of being at college and getting out and just roaming the campus and meeting people and all that. I think uh, the people he knows are like cats that he went to high school with, and I'm sure he's interacting with other people too, but
Right.
parties and that kind of stuff, I don't even have to worry about drugs, don't, not
Yeah.
even alcohol, just not even interested. So
That's how my youngest is.
now,
My
now
youngest,
that I'm thinking about it, what am I complaining about?
right. My youngest is 21's the same way. Sort of not quite antisocial, but like just doesn't want to go out and do crazy shit like we did. That just wants to chill.
Dude, I am here to tell you, if I were, that age today and did the same stuff, some of the stuff, I would say I could pick three things that I did that in retrospect, I would not be sitting here.
Yeah.
Just silly stuff, not any kind of, you know, arch crime or nothing like that, but just I know one time those cylindrical trash cans that you see, I don't know, like in a bathroom or somewhere, and you throw your trash in. I saw one of those things on campus and I thought, that would look really good in my dorm room.
Yeah.
And I just stole it. I just picked it
I
up
did
and
that
walked
shit too.
walked across campus like I was doing something legit.
Dude,
Nobody,
I had
nobody
traffic
said a
cones.
word.
Yeah,
Now,
I had traffic cones.
I dude, I had what do you call it? Like a sawhorse. I had some of those orange traffic cones, and the sawhorse thing with the flashing light, like
Yeah,
the block. I had one of those in my room. Why?
yeah.
I don't know. And I also
I
okay.
had one too, bro. I had one
Dude,
too.
I don't feel so bad now. I also had a so in Fayetteville, Arkansas, there's a Stone Street. I'll let you read into that what you will, but I fucking stole one of those Stone Street signs. And so
Yeah,
when you walked in my room, you just saw stone and then the flashing lights. And of course, I had a black light and all that stuff too.
that's
Lot of lot
hilarious.
of lot of studying going on, man. I mean a lot.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah. Well, and so when I tell people I flunked out of college, I get that now. I'm sure they don't doubt it for a second.
Yeah.
So, hey, let's change gears. Okay. I have been looking at these various hearings that have been going on. And I guess last week we talked about Pam Bondi.
Oh yeah.
And that one, I hope I'm right. I think that will go down like historically.
Yeah.
It's gonna leave a mark because she was so off kilter and all over the place. I just think it's just gonna be one of those moments, that 5 or 10 years from now, people still be talking about it in some way.
Yeah.
But it's just an indication of there is a what we have with these people. And I get that, in this, Trump 2.0, he's kind of gone through all the sort of legit people that would be hireable. And that's how you end up with the Christy Nome and,
Right.
even Howard Lutnick was a billionaire before he ever accepted this job. Um, but he's ruined his reputation.
Right.
Um, I saw this clip and I'll just play it. And it's so indicative to me of the kind of people you're dealing with. And I think when you get down, to the lower levels of, these Trump's sycophants, there's some fear that I'm seeing. And I'm going to play this. It's Joe Neguse, who is a congressman from Colorado. And he's talking to a guy from the National Park Service. And they're talking about, you know, over the last couple of weeks, we've just been going from place to place, removing, like they seem to think that all they have to do to make us forget about slavery is just take some pictures down. And
Right.
you know, and delete some websites, and everybody will, oh, what, slavery? I don't even know what you're talking about. I mean, it's the
Right.
dumbest shit. But listen to this guy. It is, I'll just play it and you'll see what I mean.
Telling us that this photo was not taken down at Fort Pulaski, because I've seen nothing from your department that says that the photo was not taken down. I've read the article that Mr. Tiffany just offered into the record, which purports to say that NPS, or rather administrative individuals at NPS, did not ask park staff to take it down. Doesn't say that it wasn't taken down. And there are anonymous sources, individuals, at least there's some reporting that suggests from NPS park staff that they were told to take it down and that it was taken down. So we deserve an answer.
I'm not aware of those anonymous sources or any instructions that have been provided to Fort Pulaski or anywhere else.
I'm not asking you about orders that were given. I'm asking, do you know, eventually, this is just important for, I think, for all the administration witnesses. The email communications that you all are having within the agencies, elsewhere, eventually those will become public. So if you know if this photo was taken down, whether intentionally or by mistake, then you have an obligation to tell the committee. Do you know if the photo was taken down, or are you saying that it was not?
I am unaware of the photo being taken down.
So you don't know whether it was taken down or not?
I understand that there have been no instructions for any removal of any, as the chairman said,
that's not an answer to
referencing slavery.
That is not an answer to a very simple question. It sounds like you're saying either you know that it was taken down, but you don't want to say that publicly, or you don't know that it was taken down. And if you don't know, then you can say you don't know.
I'm not involved in the implementation of this secretarial order.
I understand.
I am certainly will reference your questions to those that are, and I think your answers can come back certainly to your staff and the committee.
So it sounds like you're saying you do not know whether or not it was taken down.
I'm not involved in the implementation.
Sir, this is, I mean, very evasive. And again, I am trying to understand why you wouldn't just say on the record if you don't know if the photo was taken down. I don't understand. You keep answering the question the exact same way. I'm not involved in the implementation of this order. I understand you're not involved in the implementation of the order. So it should be pretty easy to say, I don't know if the photo was taken down or not. And I'm not understanding the evasiveness. Help me understand this.
I mean, what do we do with that?
It's just stupid. Like you said, they think they could just take all this stuff down, you know, take down some websites, and all of a sudden everybody's just going to forget the horrors of, you know, U.S. history. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that way. It's just, you know.
I mean, it's that, but it's also, how do you go into, man, I don't know. If I had occasion to go in front of Congress, I don't care who my boss is. I'm not going to get in there and that to me is like getting dunked on by Michael Jordan. You don't want to be in the poster and not be Michael Jordan, right? You want to be. So I would be in there trying to impress and answer, you know, people have been doing this shit for what, 250 years, right? There's a way that you can approach it where you don't embarrass yourself or you don't look like, I don't even know what that was, right?
Yeah.
And I just don't know how Trump finds these people. I used to think about this. I used to think, remember in Trump's first term, the attorney general, he went through like 2 or 3 of them in 1 minute. He had this guy, Matthew Whitaker, I think was his name. And he was like a toilet salesman. Like it was just some weird something, like he was a lawyer, but Yeah, and for like, I don't know, a month he was attorney general. I saw him on something the other day, and it's like former U.S. Attorney General so and so, and it's like he was the dumbest fucking guy I'd ever seen on camera, you know.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
but I
Scaramucci could
thought,
claim to be a press secretary.
well, well, you know what though, Scaramucci, I knew that guy beforehand, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he made
Forgot about that.
a major miscalculation. I think he
Terrible.
thought that Donald Trump was like the guy on The Apprentice.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he should have known better because he's from New York.
Right.
But what I was going to say is, you get this Matthew Whitaker guy. I was like, man, they can't possibly find anybody worse than that. I did not see Pam Bondi coming. I really didn't. I thought she was, you know, probably, fungible ethics and all that kind of thing. But I didn't expect that,
It was a Mack
mad as
truck
a
full
wet
of
hen
gum.
kind of behavior, just come in and just
Yeah.
want to, like, she acts like she acts like she's the committee chairman and the other folks are coming to her
Right.
meeting and just going off on people. I didn't
Like
see
you're
it coming.
supposed to be, you're technically the witness in these hearings, right?
Can you imagine?
You're not you're not
Just going into
control.
court,
You're there to
and
answer
cussing the
questions.
judge out, and I mean, it's
Right.
crazy. And just walking around proud, like she's
Yeah.
really I told those losers, And
Telling you.
I would be quite surprised if if we look up 4 or 5 years from now and she goes the Rudy Giuliani way. She might be a little bit smarter than Rudy, though, I have to say, in all fairness.
Probably. I'll give you
It
that.
doesn't take much, but
Yeah, that's
she's
a
probably
pretty low bar.
yeah, she's probably a little smarter. And I don't know, man. She's been doing, she's got all kinds of conflicts and all kinds of stuff. But man, it's just hard to watch.
Yeah.
I keep waiting. I keep waiting for a person to surprise me and just show up for a hearing and act like a normal person and just say,
yeah.
because that guy, all he had to say was, I don't know, but he's scared to say, I don't know, because he knows. And
Yeah,
that's
right.
And I think when the goose said to him, look, dude, the emails, all this is gonna be public. So why are you hiding? I mean, and I guess he figures, hey, that'll probably be 6 months from now. So
Yeah.
I'll continue to collect this paycheck for
He'll
another
probably be
6
gone.
months and see what happens.
He'll
I
be
guess.
gone in 6 months, probably. But
Shit,
yeah,
man.
that was obvious. He was trying to dodge saying he didn't know, because
He didn't
saying
wanna
he doesn't
say it.
know opens the door to him not doing his job. How do you not know? Why don't you know? This is your thing.
Well,
And yeah, you're right. The
he-
emails,
he-
all of this is public record. It's going to come out.
yeah, he could have said that I don't have direct knowledge. There's a way he could have answered instead of whatever that was that he was saying.
He could have said, I do not recall. The Reagan answer.
Dude, that's been working for a lot of people for decades.
Yeah, man.
Just, I'm sorry, I don't recall.
Yeah. That's a get out of jail free card in Congress.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
check this
that
out.
blows me away, man.
Let's see if I can do this correctly. I apparently can't. I saw this just the other day, just this morning. So the reason this
Wow.
jumps out at me, aside from the fact that it's, imagine if Obama ran on what a great business guy he was, and he had some sort of a secret recipe for tariffs that nobody understands but him, where tariffs are going to fix every fucking thing. Okay.
Right.
And a year later, we've got this. The tariffs were supposed to reduce the deficit.
Right.
They were supposed
that was
to
his
bring
big complaint.
They were supposed to bring jobs back, like not
Mhm.
jobs, but manufacturing.
Right.
Shit that normally takes 10 years was going to happen, like should have already happened, according to him.
Yeah.
And this is where, I have been kind of preaching for the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, I guess. The last thing I wrote was talking about how, there are a lot of people out here who I don't like I don't trust these numbers for a second because, Trump's the president. Some people haven't trusted him. They don't care who the president is. They just don't
Right.
trust these numbers. They think they're made up. And I posted something today. I guess maybe it should be a follow-up to the article that I published a couple of days ago. The reason I know that Trump is not fucking with these numbers is because they're bad. What dictator, what authoritarian
Right.
who has the ability to fool, to like, manipulate economic numbers is going to put out something like this?
Yeah.
Nobody. It's not good for him. And
Right.
at the same time, I know he knows how bad his situation is. See, here's what I think. I think we're yet to see the full impact of tariffs. Now, I don't have the video, but it happened, I guess, this morning. The Federal Reserve put out, and they do this all the time. It's nothing unusual. It's not directed at Trump, even though they act like it is. They put out reports, pardon me, all the time on different aspects of the economy. And they put out a report. I haven't had a chance to read it, but essentially it says that the cost of tariffs is basically being borne by us and not people outside the country. And, some of the impact is, still being borne by companies that aren't, marking up whatever. They're eating it because they can. But it's coming to an end. And
Right.
instead of acknowledging or maybe, sort of pivoting to a different policy, Kevin Hassett, who almost ended up being Fed chairman, by the way.
That's scary.
Yeah, he almost, and I think, he had his head so far up Trump's, what, that I think even Trump was like, okay, this guy, maybe not.
Right.
So he is still the head of the, like the president's economic advisory committee, I think it is. And he was on CNBC this morning, and he said that the people who wrote the report at the Fed that said tariffs were doing what we all know tariffs do should be disciplined. And
What
I'm
the
like, okay, what?
Right.
Yeah. They cannot accept the reality. They just can't.
Right. Right. And no, you have a point too about, they're not going to put out bad reports. And even if they tried, they're pretty easy to debunk because a lot of this data is accessible. It's just
I mean, pretty much all of the BLS data is accessible if if that's the kind of thing you like to read, which, like me. But not only that, like you said, it's man, people don't realize the granularity, and they don't realize, you're talking about millions of companies depend on this data for a variety.
Yeah.
So for example, your rental agreement, if you rent a house, they use this data to determine how much your rent be,
Right.
how much, all different kind of little things you don't think of. Car payment, or not payments, but your car loan, your mortgage, all this stuff is
I
tied
lost you, man.
to data. Did you lose me? Oh no. Am I back? Things were going so well.
There you go. I got you.
Can you hear me? No?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was my end, man. Can you hear me? Yo. I can hear you.
I can hear Arturo.
Arturo, you carry on, and I'll try to
I hear
figure
you.
out what's going on here. Not
Okay.
sure. No idea.
Yeah. So, yeah, like
Man.
what I was saying was, you can't.
I'm working now. Am I back? Can
I
you
can
hear
hear
me?
you. I can hear you. Yep. Guess I'm on my own.
Arturo, can you hear me?
There you go. Can you hear me? You
Oh
there?
boy.
All right. So yeah, it's just like DHS fudging their numbers on deportations. They're easily
This
verifiable because
is
all the data is accessible.
really pissing me off.
We can hear you, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? No?
Hello, hello.
There you are. Can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Okay, well, I'm not sure if you can hear me or not, but I'm
I can hear
here.
you.
I'm running my mouth. And so, yeah, Arturo, I will let you close things out since we're almost at that point anyway, since I can't hear.
Yeah. All right.
So take it away, sir.
All right, man. Well, y'all follow Marlon, the journeyman, here on Substack. You can subscribe to me, him. All our content's free. Thanks to our paid subscribers. I guess we're having technical difficulties with our new little setup that we've been trying to use. So sorry about that, guys. But I guess we're going to close it out. Y'all have a great evening.
Him. I do not hear you, sir.
Do you want to cut it off? You can't hear me?
Well, you know what? Live streaming is just that. It's live. so I have clearly got some shit to sort out, but just know that and hopefully you guys didn't hear the wave of profanities that that followed. But
we heard some.
I would just say this. We have an announcement actually that you're going to want to stay tuned for. We'll have something coming out, but just kind of circle next Tuesday on your calendar at 7. And Arturo and I and a few friends are going to have an announcement. And in the meantime, try to stay safe and stay out of the way of. I'm seeing ice in some weird places, so
yeah,
try to stay safe. And I guess I'm gonna let you folks head on to what you're doing, and I'm gonna go and try to figure out my very expensive non-working audio situation here. Again, take care, and we will see you on the other side. Arturo, be safe, man.
You too, brother.
All righty, take care.
All right, man. Bye.